Good evening. I'd like to call the Tuesday, May 17, 2016 meeting of Stillwater Planning Commission to order. Land use items for discussion, possible action. 2A, Joshua Carpenter, specific use permit, requesting review and approval of specific use permit for properties addressed at 511 and 511 and a half South Lewis Street to allow for single-family use in a CB bid commercial business improvement district overlay. Who's going to do that, someone?
I will do that.
All right.
All right, Mike Beatty, Development Review Manager. There we go. All right. This site's located just north, a couple of blocks here, of north of 6th Street. It's currently zoned Commercial Business District, and it's in the bid Business Improvement District. The proposed use is a single-family use. Zoom in here. You can see it off of Lewis. The front part of the property has an existing single-family house. There's an existing house existing structure at the rear of the property that was at one point in the past a duplex, and they're proposing to improve it to convert it back to a single-family house. The house was vacated and vacant for about 10 years. In being vacated, it lost any kind of grandfather clause it had to be in the business district. And so the requirements for the project to be able to go forward and for them to be able to do the redevelopment of that facility is that they need an SUP for the single-family use. There's already a single-family house located on the property. That won't be changed with this. The existing duplex, as I said before, was abandoned for more than a year, lost its grandfather clause, but it's sat vacant for 10 years. They're wanting to do something with it now, and in doing so, it is an improvement to that overall area.
Any questions? Let me open up the public hearing. Is there anybody here that'd like to speak in favor of this particular item? Seeing none, is there anybody here that'd like to speak against this particular item? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing.
All right. Alternatives, you can accept their findings and recommend approval to the City Council. You can add conditions with approval to City Council. You could recommend denial, or you can table the request.
Any questions? Any discussion?
Well, I might just add, I think it would definitely be an improvement to the structure that's there currently. I don't know if anybody got a chance to drive by there. But,
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm
I agree, yep.
I'm definitely in
So-
favor.
You want to do a motion?
I just wanted to say, though.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the unfortunate part is that the whole idea was to have the district there and to try to get more business into that bid district. And by renovating this structure, in essence, we've now committed to it being residential in an area, so the effect essentially is to carry residential in an area that we've at least tried to say is something we would rather see not residential. So that's you're right, it improves the area. You can't say against it. But at the same time, in essence, what we've now done is we're defeating our own intent by allowing residential in areas that aren't residential.
I think one thing about that, though, too, is that we don't change the zoning on it. We just do a specific use. So basically a non-conforming use in that
Non-conforming,
zone.
but if they rent it, presume for the
Right.
next 20 years, they're going to rent it out, it's going to be residential.
Right. And if the market drives it enough, it may.
True, perhaps.
Yeah.
That's right.
At the same time, there is a residential property.
There's already residential there.
And that's kind of,
west.
had that been standalone, maybe it wouldn't have been a good fit, but
Yeah.
with the residential property already.
There's no
there.
doubt.
But with that, I'll make a motion to accept findings and recommend that the City Council approve the proposed specific use permit as presented.
Second.
The motion is passed, 7-0. Item 2B, City of Stillwater map amendment, requesting review and approval to rezone properties addressed at 5150 West 6th Street, currently zoned commercial general, and 6200 West 19th Avenue, currently zoned residential single-family large lot, to P Public.
Right. This project is the same project, two locations, is related to the city's 2040 project. I couldn't get it inserted in my exhibit. I'll give you a little map here. You can, my fingers will work.
I like that it's nice and big.
No problem.
Both these projects are the one on 6th Street, just outside the Ortho, Oklahoma, if you know where that is, and then the one at 19th and Sanger are both pump station improvements that are associated with the 2040, and the city has gone in and purchased the land to build the pump station, booster pump stations on, and this request just makes that both of those parcels public so that we can be in compliance with it kind of being a utility use more so than a commercial or a residential single family. We'll zoom in here. The one on 6th Street is at the back of the lot. It leaves the front of the lot available for additional development in the future. The one on 19th and Range is immediately adjacent to the existing tower. I put a booster pump there to serve the area to the south. Findings, both properties are owned by the city already. They're public properties and they're recommended to be zoned public for utility use.
Let me open the
Question.
public question.
Is there any sound with these pumps? I mean, these pumps have a noise to them? I mean, I just don't know anything about pumps.
There'll be good-sized pumps, and probably have to defer that specific question to somebody from Water Utilities. I know that they're going to be
I used
enclosed
to
in
work
a
in this
building.
area at City Tulsa a lot.
Yes.
And they'll be in a housing which the noise outside the housing will be very, very low.
It'll be muted.
Inside the housing, it'll be up pretty high.
Yeah.
But
It'll be muted. That's not, I didn't want to say that you couldn't hear anything outside. You could probably, I'd imagine at some point hear a hum or something, but it's not gonna be like a train engine going by or anything. Because it's gonna be totally enclosed in structures. Yes?
The pumps are going in whether we change the zoning or not, right?
Yeah, they need to go in. The zoning kicks in different screening requirements. And since the public is kind of an institutional use, it allows us to take the parcels and use them for utility use.
Are these pumps two of many to come, or, I mean, I'm trying to look at the map here and see.
Oh, yeah, there 2040's long-range plan. It's going to take a couple of years to get all of those improvements done, and this is really the first phase. A lot of the pressure problems we had in the city were in that very area, the southwest area of the city, that had a lot of low pressure.
So these two feed basically a perimeter that around where
Yes.
the pumps are going to be housed?
Yes. There's some other projects going on, coming along the south end. They just put in the pump station finished it a year or so ago on, right by the CROC's new site there on Perkins Road. And that's part of the same process. They kind of bring it around from both sides. And they're working on plans on the 56th Street Tower and some other things as we speak. So it'll be the first of many.
Okay.
Any other questions? I'll open up public hearings. Anybody here to speak in favor of this particular item? If you come up, introduce yourself and your address, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Milton Morris, 6221 West 19th Avenue. If you will direct your attention to the range tower booster, immediately south across the road from that is where my house is. And I'm here more for, just to put on the record that we, thank you, Mr. Rickleman, I appreciate your comment, have very serious concerns about the pump. And as one who grew up with teenagers who had a low hum coming out of their room all the time, I really don't want to lie there with another low hum in my declining years. And so and I know this is not the forum probably to address the sound issue, but I at least wanted to put it on the record that we have concerns about that, and would encourage you to at least have that on the record that the concern was raised. And at some point, I hope that the construction of the building is such that should there be a noise problem, that further installation or other amelioration can be conducted on the building if we have a problem. Because let's face it, with all that whining over there, we're going to be vibrating across the road, folks. There's no question about it. So, but I appreciate your consideration. Thank you for raising the issue, sir. I appreciate that. It's it's a lifestyle question. And I mean, I'm 82 and I don't hear so good, but I'm afraid I hear that my bed's shaking. That's what worries me. Yeah, thank you very much for your courtesy.
Anybody else would like to speak either in favor or against this particular item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Mr. Beatty?
All right. You can recommend approval, accept the findings, recommend approval. You can recommend denial, or you can table the request.
Any other questions? Discussion? You want to make a motion?
Motion to accept staff findings and approve rezoning.
Is there a second?
Second.
It passes 7-0. Item 3, approval of regular meeting summary of April 5th, 2016.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is approved 7-0. Next planning commission is June 7th, 2016. For your information, I will not be able to make it to that meeting that night. I have another engagement. So Vice Chair, you can take over chair that night.
Big shoes to fill, Mike.
Big shoes, I know. Yeah, here a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We stand adjourned. Thank you very much.